Welcome back to the channel, and I wanted to give an update on a trip I did a week ago, and from there I got some really decent crawler parts. You know, I was kind of contemplating, do I need these or not, but let me just tell you, if you see like Cosmoline covered parts, those have to be good ones. Because, in these days of age, when you have an older machine, it's really complicated and hard to find decent parts. But this is what I managed to get. These are the inner hubs of the T-74 crawler. These are actually steering clutch parts. That's the inner drum. The outer drum is a corresponding one with splines, but they're inwards, like the disc is like so. You have one disc here as the outer for the outer rim, and you have one disc like this here for the inner rim. It actually doesn't want to fit because it's that's much cosmoline on it, but anyway, you get the picture. Like those who have never like rebuilt these clutches, I will tell you, go to YouTube user Squatch256 and find, he has a complete video on how to build Caterpillar D2 steering clutches. Now, the T-74 steering clutch works basically the same way. The rebuilding methods are a bit different because, unlike the Cat, we don't have tapers and we don't have keys. We just have splines. But that video will actually give an idea why I actually decided to go that far and get these parts, because the problem is I have no idea when the steering clutches were serviced last. Like, virtually no idea about it. But before I'm gonna rip out all the steering clutches, they do work. But like I said, I have no idea about the wear and what kind of condition they're in. Now, I do have something planned, which is to change the brake bands on the crawler. Basically, my problem right now is the left and right side, they turn really slowly, and I think one of the problems is the brake bands are just too worn. They need to be changed out. But these ones I actually got from a retailer who discounted them because, well, obviously no one these days is gonna rebuild crawler crawlers anymore, especially when they're antique ones. But the other parts I got some springs for the idler wheels. These actually they don't go bad, but the really old ones, they're like crushed in this much, and they won't work. The other thing I got was also new springs. These are the outer springs. They actually have also an inner spring for the steering clutches, because I've seen these get broken and messed up. So that was the one. This one's I just grabbed because, you know, Cosmoline addiction. These are the accelerator levers for the T-74. And these ones actually, make the steering clutch uh engage and disengage. But these rarely go bad. The only time I think they go bad is when you manage to destroy uh the the inner splines of this accelerator. So basically they're foolproof. But nevertheless, I got those, and I also got a lot of miscellaneous parts like this shifter fork. I don't know for it's a T-74 shifter fork, but I don't know where exactly in the gearbox it is. But I've seen also that these shifter forks wear out and they're like extremely thin, and people will try to weld new material on the forks to compensate for the wear. But I got it. But I did get something that I wasn't planning to get, which was this flange. Now mine is okay, but has a crack in this area. So basically I may need to basically swap that old one to this new one. They rarely go bad, but I don't know how someone managed to make a crack like this appear. Probably because someone pounded on it with a hammer. I don't know. I've got just no idea. Then there are also these are also for the idler wheels. I will show you where they go, but right now I'm just gonna skip that part. Also, fine threaded bolts. These are actually also these are the longer bolts, but these are also used in the rear axle. So you can't find these in the store anymore. Also, some bushings. I don't know. These are. I hope these were like the idler wheel bushings for the entire set, but they are like way too big. So I've got no idea where this could go, but they were there. And finally, I did get some miscellaneous. Oh, these are also for the keepers. So the spring goes like this, and this is what holds them on the hub. So, like for having this many parts, I mean, it was worth driving that long distance, anyways. And when I was there, also one of my good friends gave me this air cleaner. Mine is, it's okay, but once I opened it, I discovered that water had been pouring in for years, and this side has pretty much like holes in it. You can actually see the daylight. So that's gonna get swapped out, and eventually, I hope before I'm gonna rip. Like I said, the first job to do on the T-74 right now is to get the steering clutches working properly and to also access some, other minor issues there. A few broken bolts here and there, but nothing too major. But anyway, I think this is all. But let me just say this. This is probably one of the few times in my life where I've gotten into somewhere and found decent stuff. Usually, you find stuff that's completely rusted out or it's completely seized. Like, you could get used drums, but usually the splines are gone, and then it's like, well, what the hell am I going to do with that thing? Can't be used. So, I will say that it doesn't look like much, but for me, this pile has a lot of decent value. Like I said, hard to find, not really easy to find these days, and I want to be prepared in case that the inevitable happens, like something's blown up or something's been welded or it's just broken beyond repair. So I'm trying to look ahead into the future. Now, for those who didn't actually don't know this, but I actually got from scrap pile the original battery box for the T-74. Now, the problem why these battery boxes get thrown out is just practical reasons and the fact that once you take it out, it's really annoying to get put back. But the upper lid is a bit cracked, but we can repair that. That's not a big deal. The upper part is missing, but I'm sure I'm gonna find it eventually. It's not a big deal. But the battery box is here and it's fairly complete. So I'm really happy to, have stumbled upon this. And I would say that's about it. Hope to rebuild the steering clutches in the future and share this with a wider audience. And I was planning to do something else, like fix an engine, but because it's getting cold outside and I need to use the crawler really soon, because, well, winter is coming and I need to have something to push the snow. So I'm gonna take the crawler first and gonna leave the other things for the last. So, hope to see you soon in another video when I'm going to rip into the rear axle and address the issue with the brake bands. So, stay tuned, and if you are missing notifications, make sure to hit the bell because a lot of people who have subscribed have not. YouTube algorithm is what it is, and you know, if you're not sure you're getting the notifications, make sure to, double check your subscription. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next video.